Their intention is to have enough to pay the bills, or just get by, or I just want to earn a decent living. And you know what? Due to the power of intention, that's exactly what you're going to get, and not a dime more. Does that make sense? Yes. This is why I have a very, very deep concern with older people setting the intention that they're going to live on a government or company pension. Let me say this right now. Settling for that is usually what I call a result of the scrimp and save blueprint. You know what? To me, it's a shame. We have millions of fairly healthy, incredibly intelligent older people in this country who basically have traded their dreams for security. And here's the thing. Their entire lives revolve around their budget. I don't mean to judge, but as far as I'm concerned, that stinks. What a way to live, where your budget runs you. Does anybody know what I'm talking about here? Yes. You know what? Let me say this right now. This is all a fear-based blueprint coming up. Yes or yes? Yes. Yet the fact is that we have had dozens, if not hundreds of seniors create more wealth in only 2 years than they have in their last 50 years. It's all about your intention. It's all about how you think. Yes? Yes. All right. Let's take a look at middle-class people. What's their big intention? Well, their big intention also happens to be their favorite word in the whole wide world, because they just want to be, let's see, what's the word, please? Comfortable. So there's comfortable, and you know what? It's so important to them, we're actually going to write it 2 times. All right. So there's comfortable, and then there's this word. What's this word? Rich. And we all know that if we go for comfortable, that we're eventually going to get rich, right? No. I don't think so. Let me say this right now. Comfortable does not lead to rich. Let me say this in another way. Comfortable is the kiss of death to success. What you have to do to be successful and wealthy and rich is completely different than what you need to do to just be comfortable. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about here. All right, now, so we all know that comfortable does not lead to rich. On the other hand, if you go for rich, hey, you're probably going to end up mighty comfortable. There's a saying that we have that if you shoot for the stars, you're at least going to hit the moon. Most people don't even shoot for the ceiling in their house, and they wonder what the problem is. The problem for most people is this. It's not that your goals are too high and you miss them. It's that your goals are too low and you hit them. Now, I'm going to do something that's a little shocking. Are you ready? Yes. All right, here we go. I want you to take these numbers here, your income and your net worth. Let's go back to our financial goals. And I want you to rewrite them, but now I want you to add a 0 to each. So this one over here would be, how much would this one be? $10 million, okay? And your income here would be how much? $1 million a year. Now, when you take a look at those goals, for example, how does that feel? What thoughts are going around in your head? How many of you might feel a little bit uncomfortable? Might it be a little bit scary? A little unrealistic? $1 million a year? $10 million net worth? Who needs it? I don't want to kill myself. Why would I want to try for that? I wouldn't have time for anything else. I'm too old. I don't know how to do that. I'd be taking away from others. Let me say this right now. Whatever you said in your mind when you looked at those 2 new goals is your money blueprint staring you right in the face. And that's the only thing that is holding you back from those bigger numbers. Yes or yes? Yes. So here's your blueprint changing wealth step. Set a goal for 10 times the income and wealth you have now. And by setting a goal for 10 times the income or wealth you have now, you are actually committing to helping 10 times the number of people that you are helping now. And this will not only give you a lot more money, but will also give you new meaning to your life. So ready for the next declaration? Yes. Are you? Yes. All right, here it is. I recommit to wealth and helping thousands of people along the way. Let's go. I recommit to wealth and helping thousands of people along the way. Now, we've been talking a lot about money and wealth, but the truth is, a lot of people never grew up with the desire to be rich. Or at one point they did have the desire for financial success, but then they somehow lost their drive. You know? Yes?
Yes.
All right. Now, I've been called a financial evangelist, and I'm going to take that as a compliment. Why? Because I believe in getting rich, really rich. Let me explain why, and let's see if this makes any sense to you. All right. So, why get rich? In addition to solving problems for people, there's, number one here, is lifestyle. What's the word, please?
Lifestyle.
There's no question you can live a much nicer lifestyle when you're rich versus when you're broke or just comfortable. At least you get to eat what you really want when you go out for dinner. Can anyone relate to this? You know, in the old days when I was struggling, I used to look only at the right-hand side of the menu when I was in the restaurant. You know, what do you want to eat? Well, I'll have, 38, 34, 32, 19, 17, I'm not that hungry. Okay, 15, 14, 12, 10.95. Okay, I'll have that. What is it? Oh, it's the chicken again. Okay. I believe that life is far too short not to eat whatever you like. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about here. Okay, good. Being rich gives you the ability to live in a beautiful home, drive a great car, and send your kids to the best schools and travel the world with people that you care about, first class, I might add. Again, it's not necessarily just for you. Let me say this. Probably one of the most gratifying things I ever did was I took my entire family and both sets of grandparents on a great cruise to Alaska. And to be able to have everyone together, especially since all four grandparents were in their 80s, was a true blessing. And each of them came up to me at different times during the trip, literally crying with joy and thanking me for doing this for them while they could still enjoy it and be with the grandkids. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right. Raise your hand if you would love to be able to do things for people that you care about. Excellent. Good. So you get rich, not just for your lifestyle, but for those that you love. I'm not saying if you don't have a lot of money you can't be happy. You sure can. But the way I figure it is you have one life. And why not honor? What's the word, please?
Honor.
One more time, please.
Honor.
Is this a big word? Honor yourself. Honor yourself and those you love with the best life has to offer. The second reason to get rich is because having a lot of money is almost going to be a necessity, especially if you're going to be around for a while, and according to statistics, you will. Medical technology and the latest in wellness practices are increasing our lifespan by years and even decades, and we're just at the beginning of this trend. The fact is, there could easily be a pill that comes out that increases your longevity by 10 or 20 healthy years. What are you going to do if you're out of money? I'm sorry. I said it before and I'll say it again. I do not like the idea of just getting by or just having enough to make ends meet. And I do not like the idea of having to count on someone else, like the government or a company pension, to take care of you. If your mindset is telling you that this is security, let me say this. We need to do some drastic work on your blueprint, because to me, this way of thinking is actually the riskiest of all. Raise your hand if you would agree with me. So, again, instead of living on less, learn what it takes to earn much more, by way of active income, by way of passive income, and by way of investment income. It's a shift in your mentality. What do most people do? Tell me. What do? They think about, how can I live on less? Yes?
Yes.
Instead of putting that energy on, how can I earn 10 times more? They're completely different ways of thinking, and they come from completely different blueprints. Which one gets rich? The one who's thinking about more. Yes or yes?
Yes.
And it's just a little switch up here. True. All right, good. But here's the thing. You won't even try until you reset your money blueprint, which is exactly what we're doing right here, right now. The next reason to get rich is contribution. I believe this, that if you have the wherewithal to get really rich, it is your duty, it is your obligation, it is your dharma to do so. Why? So that you can help the people who